So today we are going to discuss about the gypsum products and the landmarks in maxilla. Only in this, not mandible because I don't have mandible right now. So let's first discuss gypsum products. Okay. So gypsum. What is gypsum? Gypsum is a mineral that is mined in many parts of the world. It is also a byproduct of some chemical processing operations, like if you manufacture something else, then this will also be formed. It is a byproduct, means उसके साथ भी बनता है. Chemically, whatever gypsum is produced, it is for dental purposes, like gypsum for dental purposes. It is nearly pure calcium sulfate dihydrate. Nearly pure calcium sulfate dihydrate, that is CaSO4.2H2O. अब कैल्शियम सल्फेट, तो कैल्शियम सल्फेट डाइहाइड्रेट, दो पानी, टू वाटर. Okay. Now, mainly the two products, gypsum products that are used in dentistry are dental plaster and dental stone. So, dental plaster and dental stone. So, these are the two products. So, these are both calcium sulfate, but one is dihydrate and one is uh, hemihydrate. Okay. Right now, I actually don't remember which one is dihydrate, which one is hemihydrate. Let me check for a minute. Okay, so both dental plaster and dental stone are formed of calcium sulfate hemihydrate, that is calcium sulfate hemihydrate, that is CaSO4 dot half H2O. Okay, so let's check this. What is this? Just a minute. Both. Both dental plaster and dental stone are calcium sulfate hemihydrate. Oh, so while while making this calcium sulfate hemihydrate, what they do is they take uh, gypsum and they ground it. Grinding. Then it forms gypsum powder, and then they heat it at 110 to 130 degrees Celsius. So this forms, so this will be CaSO4.2H2. This is gypsum, and then this will also be the same because it is just ground. Then this will form gypsum plaster or gypsum stone. So this will be CaSO4 dot half H2O. This is calcium sulfate hemihydrate. Hemi means half. And let me put this here. And then when we heat it again 130 degree to 200 degrees Celsius, this water of crystallization will get out. So this will become CaSO4. Just no H2, no H2 only. So this is called hexagonal anhydride. And when we heat this again at 200 to 1000 degrees Celsius, this becomes CaSO4. This is just being converted, just the structure. This will be called orthorhombic anhydride. We are concerned with only this portion. Okay, so let's discuss the differences between dental plaster and dental stone. Okay, is it visible? Yes, clear. So dental plaster is beta hemihydrate. Beta is in the structure, okay, and this is alpha hemihydrate. This beta and alpha just signify some changes in their structure. So dental plaster, it is a fibrous aggregate of fine crystals with capillary pores. Means this will have capillary pores and it is fine. So fibrous aggregate of fine crystals with capillary pores, and this consists of cleavage fragments. So this is not fibrous, this is fragments and crystals. This has fine crystals, this has fragments and crystals in the form of rods and prisms. So this is more powdery and this is more like grains, like not exactly grains but very small grains. Like if this is a baby powder, then this is salt or something. Like this is generally a bit coarse, and dental stone, let me write this properly first. This is generally a bit coarse, and this is a bit yellowish, and this is a bit whitish. We generally differentiate dental plaster with dental stone by touch and by color. Okay. And this is formed if gypsum is heated in an open kiln. When gypsum, that is calcium sulfate dihydrate, is heated in an open kiln. So what do you mean by a kiln? Kiln means भट्टी, जहाँ पे वो तंदूर नान वगैरह बनाते हैं, वैसे ही टाइप का होता है. So open kiln means it needs air, I think. I don't know actually. And this is called wet calcination. Okay, this is important. Now, formation of dental stone or alpha hemihydrate is when it is heated dry. So dry calcination. This is wet calcination, dental plaster, and dental stone is dry calcination. Plaster is smooth, means fine crystals with capillary pores, and dental stone has cleavage fragments and crystal in the form of rods and prism, and it is formed by dry calcination. Okay, so I hope this is visible right now. Okay, so in dental plaster, the crystals are irregular, crystals, and in dental stone, crystals are dense crystals, and since they are present in form of rods and prisms and prismatic in shape. So what is prism? A prism is a triangular structure. Oh, I'm making it right. Okay, so this is a prism. We used to study in 11th and 12th that light, when enters through this, it gets refracted and refracted like that. So this is a prism shape. Let me turn the page. Okay, so I hope this is visible. Okay, so there are many, 4 or 5 actually, types of gypsum products. Types of gypsum products. 5 types. Type 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay. So type 1, the name is name. This is called impression plaster. Type 2 is called dental plaster. This is actually the dental plaster with which this has been made. Type 2. Third one is dental stone. Fourth one is dental stone with high strength. You'll get to know why this is called with high strength and why this is only dental stone. And the last one is dental stone with high strength and high expansion. Okay, so all of this, what is the difference between impression plaster, dental stone, dental plaster, dental stone, and all of this? These things have just different structures. Means chemically they are the same, okay, but their structures, like this is dental plaster is beta hemihydrate and this is alpha hemihydrate. Just like that, this will also be just a bit different. Okay. So the water is to powder ratio, water is to powder, water W by P ratio that is required for working with these things is, for the first one, type 1 impression plaster will be 4 0.4 to 0.75. Okay, now this, for this it will be 0.45 to 0.5. For dental stone it is 0.28 to 0.3. For dental stone with high strength it is 0.22 to 0.4, and for the last one 0.18 to 0.22. I don't think they'll ask this, but even I don't remember. I have this tab open right now. So 0.4, 0.45. So let's remember this like this: 18 to 22, 2 to 0.4, 28 to 3, 5 to 5, 4 to 7.5. I'll make some trick out of this afterwards. Now the setting time is different for all of them, which is what you would think. I have got this tab open. I'm studying from this. So setting time. So setting time only for impression plaster is different, and rest of them it will be the same. So this will be 4 plus or minus 1 minute. So after you have worked with impression plaster, it will only take 3 to 5 minutes, because 4 minus 1 and 4 plus 1, 3 to 5 minutes. Okay, and for rest of them it will be 12 plus or minus 4 minutes. 12 plus or minus 4 minutes, 12 plus or minus 4 minutes, 12 plus or minus 4 minutes. That is 8 to 16 minutes. Okay, this all of this dental plaster, dental stone with high strength, dental stone with high strength and high expansion, all of them have working setting time of 8 to 16 minutes. Means 12 plus or minus 4 minutes. So what are the uses? Why are we studying this? So this impression plaster is used to take final impression of dentures, final impression of the oral cavity or alveolar surface, final impression. And this dental plaster is used for making study cast, this thing, using this to study the surface, alveolar surface, the palate and the frenums, vestibules. So this is used to make study cast. Models, like this can also be called a model. Mounting cast on articulator, and mounting cast on articulator. So I'll show you what an articulator is afterwards when we get taught. Actually, right now I have no knowledge about it, so let's leave it. Now the dental stone is used for preparing master cast and for making molds. For making master cast and for making molds. I don't know what a master cast is. I know what a mold is. So mold is cha. So you pour something into a mold and then it comes out like the thing you wanted to make. Like, okay, this was dental plaster. This was in a powdery form. We mixed it with water, a specific amount of water, and then we poured it into a mold. So when it dried up and set, we removed this, and this is what we get. This is called a cast, and whatever we poured the powder mix into is called a mold. Now dental stone with high strength is used to make dyes which are used for inlay, crown, bridge and wax pattern. So dyes used for inlay. Now I don't know what an inlay is, so छोड़ दो. Crown, we obviously know what a crown is. Crown is the upper part of a tooth, like part of a tooth covered by enamel. Crown, inlay, crown and bridge. Now ये भी नहीं पता, तो ज्ञान नहीं. And wax pattern. I don't know what all of these are, so I'll ask and next time. Now dental stone with high strength and high expansion is used to make dyes. So we can actually control the setting time of all of these things. How? If we add gypsum. So setting time will decrease, means sets quicker. So if we have mixed, for example, आटा और पानी, है ना, आप उसको गूंथ रहे हो, है ना, और आप और जल्दी मतलब ज़्यादा आटा डाल देते हो तो वो तो टाइट हो जाएगा ना जल्दी. तो वही बात है. तो अगर जिप्सम ऐड कर रहे हो, वर्किंग, ये काम करने का है, ठीक है. तो इफ़ यू ऐड जिप्सम इट विल सेट क्विकर. इफ़ you decrease the particle size, means वो और ज़्यादा पाउडरी हो गया, तो again it will set quicker. Now if you increase water is to powder ratio, water increases means पानी बढ़ा रहे हो, sets slower. Because it will get more watery. Now mixing, if we mix rapidly, so it will set quicker. I might be wrong in this, but if temperature, heat, if you heat this, is it visible? Okay. If you heat this, then obviously it will set quicker, right? No. This will set slower, because when it sets, it is an exothermic reaction actually. Exothermic reaction. When you provide heat, when you are already providing heat, it cannot get heated up. I mean, am I wrong or am I right? I don't know. No. I might be wrong. Let's not talk about this. Okay. So let's study the actual landmarks. Okay. Let me take out the PDF. If I'm wrong somewhere, then I'll be able to correct it. Okay. Now this is the, I hope this is visible, or let me take this out. You can focus. Oh. Yes. Okay. So this is the maxilla. Okay. This will be present like this in the upper part of the mouth or oral cavity. I'm being careful with this. So now ledge क्या होता है, सोचिए आप जरा, सोचिए ledge क्या होता है. ledge है ना, लेज वो होता है जहाँ से आप कूद सके तो वॉट एवर दिस ब्लैक पोर्शन इज, है ना, सो ओके, हाँ, दिस दिस ब्लैक पोर्शन जहाँ से एक चींटी कूदे, है ना, तो जमीन में गिरा और उसको चोट लगे, उसको बोलते हैं लेज, है ना। कॉर्नर, कॉर्नर तो एक कोना हो गया, है ना, जैसे ये कोना हो गया, है ना, ये कोना हो गया, बट दिस इज नॉट अ लेज, दिस इज अ लेज, ओके, फ्रॉम वेयर यू कैन जंप and harm yourself. So don't jump, please don't talk to someone. Okay, so YouTube will now do sync. Okay, so this is the ledge of the cast. Ledge means a corner of a line, like, I don't know. So this is, just remember, ledge of the cast. Okay, now let's place this like this. Uh, this is how it will be. So every time, just remember, simple things. Okay, labial means lips, buccal means cheek, lingual means tongue. Okay, labial means lips, buccal means cheek, lingual means tongue. Lingual, okay. Labial, buccal and lingual. Labial means lips, buccal means cheek, and lingual means tongue. So what is present in the anterior portion of the cast? Obviously lips. So what do you call this? So this will be labial frenum. What? Labial frenum. So what do you mean by frenum? Frenum means frenum is a fold of mucous membrane. Frenum, frenum, fold of mucous membrane or fibrous tissue. Frenum is an like elevated and tissue, just elevated and thin, relatively thin piece of tissue. So here this portion is called the labial frenum. Because why labial? Because it is towards the lips. Yes, this is called, yes, this is called labial frenum. Yes, this one. Now, what do you mean by a vestibule? Try. Vestibule means nali. Where water can pass. नाली में इधर होगा या इधर होगा, I don't know. नाली. Okay, so this yellow portion, this entire yellow portion extending from this thing to this thing is called the labial vestibule. Okay, so first let's talk about this, whatever this thing is. No, this thing. Yes, okay, so talk about this. This is the, so this is near the cheek, so this will be buccal frenum. This is the buccal frenum because it is towards the cheek. This is the labial frenum because it is towards the lips. Okay, so the vestibule extending from the buccal frenum of left side to buccal frenum of right side, or you can obviously say buccal frenum of right side to buccal frenum of left side, is called as labial vestibule. This entire yellow portion is the labial vestibule. Okay, now what do you call this? What do you call this? This is buccal frenum. So this will be buccal vestibule. Now, not everyone's anatomy is the same. Like someone will have long femur, someone will have long humerus. Like some people have long legs and long arms, but some people have short legs and short arms. And when they sit down, their height is, when, like for example, I have long arms and long legs, but I have a small torso. But when sometimes even if I sit with someone and they're taller than me while sitting, but when they stand they're shorter than me, just because my legs are taller and their torso is taller. So vice versa, just like that, everyone's oral cavity will be different. So sometimes there are two buccal frenums. It may be more, but I don't know, but there may be two buccal frenums. But since we are studying about the oral cavity, we are studying in this class with two, just to know कि भाई दो होता भी है कभी कभी, है ना. So this is also buccal frenum, this is also buccal frenum, this thing is also buccal vestibule, this thing is also buccal vestibule up to this part. This is different, I'll talk about it next. So uh, labial frenum, buccal frenum, buccal frenum, buccal frenum, labial vestibule, buccal vestibule, buccal vestibule, labial vestibule. Okay, now let's talk about this. So try touching your tongue to the roof of your palate, in the just behind your primary incisors, both of the primary incisors. So you will feel a soft tissue, like tissue which is palpable. So this is called incisive papilla. Incisive means which can be which enters. Okay, so it is entering into the oral cavity. So is it visible? Yes, like this. So see, this is elevated. Okay, so incisive papilla, this is a incisive papilla. Let's write incisive papilla. Triangular part, triangular pad of connective tissue overlying incisive foramen. It incisive foramen. So incisive foramens means opening, like so foramen, this incisive foramen is an opening for nasopalatine nerves and blood vessels. So the incisive papilla, is it visible? Yes. The incisive papilla is a triangular pad of connective tissue which is above the incisive foramen. So incisive foramen is also an opening for, is also not also, it is an opening for nasopalatine nerves and blood vessels. So nasopalatine means from nasal cavity to the palate. So these nerves and vessels pass through this incisive foramen from nasal area to palatine area. Okay. This incisive papilla is to be relieved. To be relieved. So what do you mean by relieved? So relief means उस जगह को खुला छोड़ना. Like for example, if I want to, for example, make a road through a mountain. So through a mountain means अंदर से, तो I'll have to dig this up and take out all of the materials. So this will be the mountain that is left. So this area is relieved. गैप छोड़ना है ना, उसको बोलते हैं relieved. Okay, so we are done with incisive papilla. Now this entire red portion is called mid-palatine raphe. What? Mid-palatine raphe. Mid-palatine raphe. This is a bony ridge, raised, slightly raised. Bony ridge. Bony means हड्डी टाइप का है ना, bony means हड्डी ही होता है. Ridge means elevation along with the midline. Now why midline? Because it is present in the midline of hard palate. This area is also to be relieved. Also needs to be relieved while making dentures. Okay. So because this is bony, and if you cover it up, then the denture and this bone will pinch whatever soft tissue is present, and then it will cause pain. So not worth it. Relieved, released nahi. Relieved. Okay. So mid-palatine raphe is done. So one more thing, the things which are moving outwards, like हाँ, दिख रहा है नहीं दिख रहा. These things, these 6 structures are called as rugae. Rugae means because rugae means like roots moving outwards. These are rugae. So these things are called rugae. Next, this 2 black things. Is it visible? Yes. So these 2 black points are known as fovea palatine. Fovea palatine. Okay. So what is a fovea palatine? These are present across the midline. Like if we draw an imaginary midline, these are present across the midline. On the posterior part of the palate. These are present across the midline on the posterior part of the palate and are formed by the coalescence of blind opening. Coalescence means judna of blind openings of mucus gland. Why blind opening? Because it is blind. We cannot see the opening. That is why it is called as blind opening. Openings of mucus gland duct. This are means because they are 2 used to guide, used as landmarks to guide for these are used as landmarks to guide for the posterior extensions of maxillary complete denture. So fovea palatine are present across the midline in the posterior part of the palate. Okay, right? And they are used as guides or landmarks these are used as landmarks to guide for the posterior extension of maxillary complete denture. So when you give dentures, these are used as some kind of landmarks कि इसके थोड़ा पीछे या इसके थोड़ा साइड तक ही करना है, वैसा कुछ होता होगा, हमको तो नहीं पता. So fovea palatine also, this has a different significance. So some kind of secretions come out of this because mucus gland duct. So this also serve to keep the denture attached to the roof of the mouth or palate. So obviously, for example, if you put some, दो थाली के बीच में थोड़ा पानी डाल दो और वो दोनों को चिपका दो, तो obviously it will be harder to pull them apart because there is some water present and it acts as a adhesive, like not an adhesive, but they stick together better. So that is what happens if you, for example, give a denture and you put it like this. So this will, the secretions of from this will, they help to keep the denture attached to the roof. Okay, so fovea palatine हो गया है ना. Now maxillary tuberosity, this oval portion, this thing is known as maxillary tuberosity, these things. So maxillary tuberosity, what is the importance? They are present at the distal end or distal aspect of posterior alveolar ridge. So this is the alveolar ridge, this entire thing. So this is present in the posterior aspect of the, in the distal aspect of posterior alveoli. So this is the anterior alveolar ridge, this is posterior, and if we look at it from the middle, so this will be the proximal and this is distal. So this is distal end, distal aspect of posterior alveolar ridge. They are secondary stress bearing areas. So all of the stress from chewing, it comes into this. Okay, like it will obviously come into this and onto this. This is called maxillary tuberosity. Now next, thing about palatal. अरे कॉल आ रहा है, leave it. So palatine rugae are dense raised areas of dense connective tissue radiating from midline to anterior one-third of palate. These are also considered as secondary stress bearing areas. So about this palate and rugae. Palate and rugae. These are raised areas, obviously, because of the dense connective tissue radiating from midline to the anterior one third of palate. These are also secondary stress bearing areas. Okay, now let's talk about this, whatever is present in this region. Okay, so the first thing, let me draw this actually. So okay, this is the black region and this is the green region. Okay, I have drawn this here. So, and this is so the demarcating line between the palate, between the hard tissue and the soft palate. Okay, so imaginary line located at junction of attached tissue overlying the hard palate and movable tissue of immediately adjacent soft palate. So this is the imaginary line located at the junction of attached tissue overlying the hard palate. So this is the attached tissue overlying the hard palate and the movable tissue of immediately adjacent soft palate. So this is the portion of soft palate, this is hard palate, and this tissue is movable, this is hard palate. So the attached tissue overlying the hard palate and movable tissue of adjacent soft palate is known as the line. This line is known as anterior vibrating line. Now let's talk about posterior vibrating line. This thing, posterior vibrating line. Posterior vibrating line is an imaginary line representing, just a second, हाँ हाँ हाँ, अच्छा अच्छा, तो कल ऑनली डिप था ना, कल ऑनली डिप था, हाँ ठीक है, तो आज पुल कर 5/10, मतलब 5 सेट 10, 5 किलो की लगा ली, हाँ ठीक, नहीं किया है, हाँ हाँ, नहीं पढ़ रहा था, हाँ हाँ, चलेगा, वो नहीं उठाने होता है भाई, व्हाट्सएप एकदम टाइम लगता है, उसके नहीं उठाया, ठीक। ओके, वीडियो तो 1 घंटा का होने वाला है, but still let's continue. So posterior vibrating line is an imaginary line representing the demarcation between that part of soft palate that is highly movable during function and part of soft palate that has low movability during function. So anterior vibrating line is the demarcation between tissue of hard palate and movable tissue of soft palate. This is the movable tissue of soft palate. But the posterior vibrating line is a demarcating line between movable tissue of soft palate and the immovable tissue of soft palate during function. Okay, just remember this. This is between hard palate and soft palate, between hard palate and movable tissue of soft palate, and this is between movable tissue of soft palate and immovable, means less movable tissue of soft palate. Okay, now uh, another soft tissue layer is present like this. I'm not drawing it because it is not drawn here, but it is called posterior palatal seal area. I hope this is visible. हाँ अब आया लाइन में, ठीक है. So posterior palatal seal area, this is a soft tissue along the, okay, so this is the rim of the cycle, and this tire applies pressure outwards, so which is why this is retained. So this is what is happening in posterior palatal seal area. So that is it for now. वीडियो भी बंद हो रहा था अपने आप, है ना. तो मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट टाइम.